Well, you don't care enough. You don't care enough about your son. You don't care about your child, Jeanette. If you did, you'd be up there jumping all over those people. Really? I got thrown out of the police station. I did that because I don't care about my son. I went down there how many times and spoke plainly? There's somebody investigating me and my son. I don't know what's going on. I want to know who the cop is. I want their badge number. I've said that in the police station. I've said it to cops on the street. They were called by informants. They were falsifying accusations against me for drugs. Cops threatened to throw me in jail. Called me a lunatic. See, it's not enough that I asked. I didn't say it the right way. Well, she asked, but she didn't speak plainly enough. We couldn't understand her, really. You know what they told me when I called them on the phone when this was happening to us on Egan Street? Well, ma'am, we've got to know the address of who is doing it. Who's the police officer? We got to have their badge number. Well, you're a cop. I think you ought to be able to find out. You're a cop, aren't you? Excuse after excuse after excuse. They don't want me to participate. Everybody's having too much fun. You can tell teenagers, but you can't tell me, really. That's unbelievable is what it is. It's a farce. Here comes the punk again. Yep, he's walking straight out the door. Oh, I'm gonna go here. I guess he's done his deeds for the day. Or maybe not. He'll let's see, it's 4:49. Yep. What's he gonna do? How much you wanna bet he's gonna come walking right by my vehicle? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm looking towards you right now. That white van. I heard his car door slam, so maybe he got into a car. I've seen the same attitudes in kids at school. I would just this wildfire of this type of stuff going on. And kids would come and stand out by my vehicle. That happened to me. I don't know how many times. I didn't ever talk to any of them. And, I mean, it was horrifying, really. Okay, that's the car he got into. Right there. It looks like a little mini station wagon, dark gray, black female driver. Late model car. You know, I mean, just wildfire. It was awful. It was terrible. The things that I went through. I went out to my car one day. I was parked over in the teacher's parking side, and a girl on the baseball team, the softball team, pulled her car up so that her driver's side was alongside my driver's side door, and she had her legs split way open. She's a blonde teenager. And I was just leaving for the day. I had to leave there and go pick up my son after school. And so I couldn't just wait till she drove away. She wasn't supposed to be parked there, but there was a pair of standing on the sidewalk with a cell phone to her ear. The argument is that I approached her. No, I didn't. I approached my vehicle. She had her driver's door open. She had her legs spread as wide apart as she could. And she had her pants were unbuttoned. And she had her right arm. Her pants were unbuttoned and open to fly down to her crotch. And that kid right there was getting on the bus when Jacob got on the bus when he was riding the city bus. And she was just holding her hand down in her crotch with her fingers down in her crotch. And the look on her face, she was trying to be explicit and she was trying to be provocative. It was staged. And the pair was on the sidewalk to say that she saw me approach, and she was holding the cell phone up to her ear so she could do a play-by-play for Double O Dumbfuck. It was listening on the other end of the line. I turned my head towards my vehicle this way before I even reached it, like I was looking off in the distance, and kept my eyes focused on the side of my driver's door. And didn't say a word to that girl. Because I was supposed to be a pedophile, and I went through these pedophile things like this. Being conducted by school staff. It was terrible. And why would you do something like that? A sex crimes detective would never do that, would never stage a pedophile thing like that. And, I didn't misunderstand anything. She wasn't trying to tuck her shirt in. That was the excuse she was using, but she wasn't even supposed to be parked where she was. And that pair was just standing there staring straight at her. And at me as I walked from the school to my vehicle. So, yeah. Really. Anybody that'll tell a child to do that and do something like that is a pedophile. Even if you're telling them that they're doing the right thing and they're trying to catch somebody that's a pedophile. If you watch the real cops that do pedophile stings on TV, they never allow children to interact with pedophiles that are suspects. And there's always cops there with real guns and badges. And that child is never allowed to interact with that pedophile or get close enough to him, because the cops would be liable if the pedophile grabbed him and threw him on the ground and started raping him. Even if the cops were there, they wouldn't be there close enough to do anything about it, to stop the pedophile from doing it. So, that's what's dangerous about these kinds of investigations. Because you might do it to somebody who really is a pedophile. And I'm not one. But what would you do then? If you came across somebody that was just as manipulative as a cold-hearted killer and wanted to play games with children with them. That scares the shit out of me, to think of somebody like that having the opportunity to hurt a child because of some jackass with a badge.